Hello and welcome to this video on the 3 things that HR business partners need to master within themselves. I'm now moving into step 2 and the second factor within the HR impact and influence blueprint, which is really all around enhancing your impact. So what do I want you to focus on in this video? Awareness. And in particular, I want you to kind of think about what I'm calling the What the F.E.C Awareness Creator. So what does the F.E.C stand for? Well, the F stands for what you focus on. The E stands for your emotions, and the C stands for choices. So these are the 3 things that I want to cover in this video for you. So focus. Why is focus so important to enhancing your impact? Well, quite simply, your focus becomes your gatekeeper. It becomes your gatekeeper to what you're thinking moment to moment. Yes, think about it. If I'm focused on something negative, I now start to think about it, right? So now I'm starting to think about why is it so negative and what am I thinking? So it's influencing what I'm thinking. And then we know that what we focus on, we get more of. So if I'm focused on something positive, great. I'm not going to say I'm going to feel completely motivated and wow, wow, rah, rah. No, but I'm definitely going to feel more positive than feeling more sad, right? Simple, very effective. If we start to practice, where are we focusing on? And I'm going to give you a bit more detail on this. So think about it from these 3 questions, right? And there are more than 3 questions, by the way, but just for the sake of the video, I want to kind of keep it sort of tight and short. First question is, what am I going to focus on? Yeah, and this focus is from moment to moment. It's whether I'm focusing on what happened 2 weeks ago or last week or 2 years ago or 10 years ago. And then I take that focus and then bring it into the present and then hope that, actually you were going to move forward. Well, you're focused in the past, right? So thinking about whether you're where you are, or are you focused on yourself, or are you focused on others? So that's going to actually impact how you are showing up in a particular meeting or in a particular conversation. So what am I going to focus on? Let's not drag stuff up from the past and hope that we're going to, make it better this time, if we're too busy focused on what happened or what went wrong last time. No, it doesn't work. We've got to think about where our focus is. The second question, what does it or this mean to me? Some say, yeah, what is it? Well, what is it? Well, it's just something about that person. Well, what is it? I don't know. But think about it from any experience that you have. And if you focus on the situation that you, a good meeting versus a bad meeting, a good conversation versus a bad conversation, it's what meaning you added to it. Yes, what that conversation meant to you. So that you can be in a situation where you're having a conversation with a CEO and they've called you into their office, and what they say to you can either like, oh, well, that didn't go well, and that kind of meant that he was being difficult, and actually I didn't come across really well. Or was I being rewarded and getting a pat on the back? Was it, so thinking about what meaning you're adding to a situation, yes, will obviously influence how you're going to impact. So what does it mean? Third question is, what am I going to do? Yeah, based on what you focus on will determine what you do or don't do. Plain and simple. If I think it's going to be too much like hard work, that's my focus, then it probably is going to be too much like hard work. If I think it's going to be simple and relatively straightforward, relatively easy, that's my focus, and I'm going to focus on this task in that way, then generally that's the way I'm going to perform that task. Again, so thinking about what am I going to do? Or rather, what are you going to do? So just where your focus is at, just think about these 3 questions. Just these questions will help you really kind of refocus. And this is the whole point. Refocus. Think about, how what you're focusing on is influencing what you're doing and what you're thinking, or what you're going to do or not do in this case, in question 3. Yeah. So we could go on more, but I want to move to the second bit about emotions and EQ. And I know some of you would think, oh yeah, emotional intelligence. Yes, it is emotional intelligence, but I want you to kind of think of 2 things here. First of all, there's this personal competence. Yes, this is your ability to take responsibility of where your focus is and what you're thinking and do something about it. The second point is like, now that I am aware, of my focus and how I'm thinking, and I can do something about it, I now have the relationship competence to actually build effective relationships. It's simple, right? Yes, but not, things that are simple are not always practiced. Okay, so moving into the levels, so let's kind of explore this personal competence. So am I present to what I'm thinking and feeling? Some people are, and some people are not. But at the end of the day, you've got to think about that self-awareness, because once you have that self-awareness, do you have the ability to self-manage? Yes or no? Can I do something about the way that I feel? Can I choose to respond differently? Then, because if you are doing the second bit of self-managing, then you kind of being aware of how am I making an impact on the people around me? How am I landing on people around me? Because once I understand that and I'm aware of that, I now know how to build effective relationships. Or more to the point, I now know how to have more impact. But it starts with, what am I aware of? What am I focusing on? How aware of what am I focusing on am I? And then, do I have the ability to kind of self-manage? And as a result of that, know how I'm making an impact or not. So that's really what I want to talk to you about in terms of emotions. Of course, there's more details behind it, but this just, the key points I want you to take away from this video is that personal competence, that level 1 and 2, and then the relationship building is the 3 and the 4, right? So think about it from that. The third one I want to talk to you about is choice. What are the choices we're making? And, it sounds like, well, choices, yeah, do we have a choice? Yes, we do have a choice. We create our own reality by the choices we make. But are we aware of it? This is the key question. And I want to focus on 2 aspects for this video for you. First one is, do we have external or internal choices? Are we making choices based on internal or external? In other words, an ineffective belief choice would be, I can't help it. It's, what, it's, they made me do it. It's what happened outside of you, right? It's your circumstances that determine what choices you do. Like, I have to. People always say, I have to. Don't believe they have a choice. Effective belief choice is really, I'm a product of my choices. Yeah. Can I choose the way in which I respond? Yes. If I'm stuck in traffic, you've got those people who get so frustrated being stuck in traffic. And there's those people who actually enjoy being stuck in traffic because of the choices that they make. I'm stuck in traffic. I can't do anything about it. Yeah. I can't do anything about the accident that's in front, that's causing the traffic. But I can choose my response to it. And I can go, okay, well, this is a good time to kind of reflect. This is a good time to listen to an audio tape or a podcast or whatever. You can choose differently. So how are you making your choices, externally or internally? Be mindful of that. Then I want to talk to you about mental fatigue in having impact. And mental fatigue, so research all shows that, we're making so many decisions, thousands of decisions every day. And we get tired of making those decisions. And as we get more and more tired, decisions become harder to make. So if you're going to have impact, try and have your meetings at the beginning of the day rather than the end of the day. It's kind of like, position yourself at the beginning of the agenda of that meeting, not at the end, because you'll end up cutting corners. Just like so you're tired and frustrated of a meeting and you want to raise a point, but you get to any other business and you go, forget it. I just want to get out of the meeting. I just want to take shortcuts. So we've got to be mindful of that. And we're making like 35,000 decisions a day. And as you can see here on the screen, yeah, it's 226 is just on food alone. So we get overloaded. You ever gone to the supermarket and there's so much choice, there's so much variety of the same, there's so many different cheeses, or just go down the dog food aisle, right? Or the cat aisle's even worse. Yes, there's even more choice in the cat aisle than the dog aisle. And it's like, you just kind of get, and by the time you're looking down, you end up just throwing anything in your shopping trolley, because you're getting tired of trying to make a decision on what should we eat, what should we eat on that day, what should I eat on that day, should we have this? And it's like, it's overload to the point where you just kind of throw anything in your trolley and say, let's just get out of here. So this is happening day to day. And so this is where we have an opportunity to create more or enhance our impact by becoming more aware of our choices. An example of this, these guys, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook and Steve Jobs. these guys, it's not that they, they wear the same thing and they were known for wearing the same thing, but it's not like they had a lack of funds. Yes, they couldn't afford to buy more clothes. Clearly they could. And it's probably nothing to do with their fashion sense. But one of the things that they did and were aware of, like, I don't want to make decisions about what I wear. I don't want to wake up in the morning and go, what should I wear? And there's some of us that we get tired and we go, okay, I'm just going to wear that. Doesn't matter. Because we're making so many decisions on what we should wear. President Obama was the same. He got accused of wearing gray suits and blue suits. When he was questioned during a press conference, why do you only wear blue and gray suits? And he said, simple. I have to make so many important decisions. The last thing I want to be making a decision around is what suit, what shirt, what tie should I wear today? So it was simple, gray or blue. So it's about powering down our decisions. So therefore we can become more effective and we feel that we have more choice and we're not cutting corners on those times when actually we could have impact. So that's really what I wanted to get into in this video. So it was really around, thinking about what you're focusing on, becoming aware of it, becoming aware of how your emotions are and the choices that you make. This is the real thing that we want to talk about. So in the next video, if you join me, I want to talk to you about step 3, which is really kind of redefining how you're showing up. We're getting into the C of impact, which is really about how to put the TLC in HR communication. So hopefully see you on the next video. Speak soon. Take care for now. Bye now.